This video is brought to you by VideoBlocks. Hey guys, this is Sam, and at their September event, Apple just announced 3 brand new iPhone models, massive upgrades across the board, the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, in addition to the entirely new, completely upgraded iPhone 10, written out as iPhone X, to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the original iPhone that was released back in 2007. There is so much to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump in with the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. So in comparison to the iPhone 10, these were the smaller upgrades, but they do feature an all-glass design, brand new, with an aluminum band going around the phone that color matches the 3 colors that the iPhone's available in. We've got silver and space gray, which we've seen before, but new this time is an updated gold finish. It's not rose gold, it's not gold, it's almost like a mix of the 2 colors somewhere in between. It looks really interesting, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this glass design down below. Do you like it better or worse than the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus? Now, because all of the new iPhones are made pretty much entirely of glass on the front and back, we finally see a feature that Android phones have had since the dawn of humanity, and that is Qi wireless charging. You'll now be able to set your iPhone on a charging mat with Qi capabilities and charge it without actually physically connecting a wire to your device. I don't know, I still don't entirely see the point of wireless charging, but if you get an iPhone 8, an iPhone 8 Plus, or an iPhone 10, you can do that now. I'd also like to hear your thoughts about this. Do you guys care about wireless charging? Let's jump over to the screen now. It's largely the same as the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus's display, but it has True Tone capabilities, which is a really great feature that was first introduced back on the iPad in 2015 or 2016. It means that it's going to color match the iPhone screen to the environment around you. So if you're in a really warm room with warm lighting, the screen's going to appear a little bit warmer, but if you're in a very cool environment with a lot of blue lights, the screen is going to appear a little bit cooler and a little bit more blue, once again to match the environment that you're in. It's one of those features that you don't notice all the time until you go into settings and disable it, because it happens automatically, it changes dynamically, and it's a great upgrade all the way around. Stereo speakers also saw an upgrade. They are 25% louder with a deeper bass. This was one of my biggest problems with the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus. It was like a good starting point. The stereo speakers were cool, they made audio better when you were watching videos in landscape, but they weren't perfect. Well, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus feature improved stereo speakers that should sound better than ever. I think the part of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus that surprised me the most was the A11 Bionic Chip on the inside. It is a massive upgrade from the Apple A10 that was in the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, and even a massive upgrade from the Apple A10X chip and the new Apple TV and new iPad Pro models. It's a 6-core CPU, 64-bit, faster autofocus in low light, and a lot of improvements, once again, on the inside that you won't notice day to day, but if you switch it out for an older chip, you're probably going to see some massive improvements. I cannot wait to get my hands on one of these devices to try the chip out and run it through its paces. Alright, now let's go ahead and jump over to the new camera systems, which are arguably the most important part of any iPhone upgrade. And this year, Apple put a huge focus on video with a lesser focus on photo. They're the same 12 megapixel shooters that they were on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, and similar to what Samsung did with the Galaxy S8, they didn't improve the megapixels, but they promise with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus a new sensor with better color saturation, better dynamic range, and less noise in your photos. So this all sounds really good in practice. I'm excited to see if the photos are really better once we get the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus into our hands. Because the iPhone 8 Plus has a dual camera setup, just like the iPhone 7 Plus did, you have the 1.8 and 2.8 apertures on both of those lenses, and then you've got a new portrait lighting feature, and this is actually incredible. You're going to be able to dynamically change the light on someone's face in portrait mode, where you get that stark difference between the person in the foreground and then the objects or the background in general, and it allows you to select the lighting that you want and change it on the fly, and it is so much more advanced than portrait mode on any Android phone that I've seen, so much more advanced than the standard portrait mode on the iPhone 7 Plus, and lighting is really hard to get in general, so I cannot wait to try this out for myself once again. It is going to be ridiculous. So in photo upgrades, that is huge, but the actual megapixels are the same as the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Now, along with the new portrait lighting mode that is a huge upgrade, video is the exact same story. It is ridiculous. It is incredible. 4K video at 60 frames per second video recording. I'm pretty sure that is the first time, or maybe second time in the world, that we've ever seen that on a smartphone, and millions and billions of people around the world are going to be able to try it on the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. It is going to shoot the best smartphone video out there just based off of the specs alone, and it also has higher quality slow-mo as well. 1080p video at 240 frames per second. The previous standards on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus or 4K video at 30 frames, and 720p video at 240 frames per second. With all of these camera upgrades, you get better augmented reality or AR features. ARKit is a massive upgrade in iOS 11. I've made a couple of videos talking about some cool things that we'll be seeing when iOS 11 launches later this year on September 19th. So check those out if you're interested. On the inside of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, we're also going to be seeing Bluetooth 5.0, and we have the ability to fast charge the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, which is really great. Now, before we move on, I want to take just a second to thank VideoBlocks for sponsoring today's video and making it possible. VideoBlocks has one of the fastest growing, largest stock video libraries with over 3 million videos, After Effects, and motion backgrounds. This includes the only contributor marketplace that gives 100% of the commission back to the artists. Because of this mentality, there are so many good clips to choose from, and whether you're searching for an Apple store, or someone scuba diving, or even reindeer in Norway, you'll be able to find it on VideoBlocks, along with millions of other clips to suit your project's needs. There's also a ton of 4K content to choose from, and as somebody who uploads in 4K on the regular, I was really happy to see that. The best part is that each and every single one of these clips come with a royalty-free agreement, so you can't get hit with copyright claims at a later date, which are just a mess to deal with in general. So right now, we're giving away 7 days of VideoBlocks, so you can try it out and get access to this massive video library and royalty license for free. So if you're interested, make sure you check out the link down below in the description. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, what capacities are the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus available in, how much will they cost, and when can we get our hands on these? Well, capacities this time around, the base is 64 gigabytes, which is twice as much as the iPhone 7, and 256 gigabytes is the top now. So you only have 2 options for capacities, which is a little bit of a different strategy than Apple has done in recent years. The iPhone 8 starts at $699, $50 more than the iPhone 7 started at, and the iPhone 8 Plus starts at $799. So more pricey iPhones than we saw last year, but there are a lot of features. You guys let me know down below if these new prices make these phones worth it. You can pre-order these on September 15th on apple.com and a number of other websites online like carrier partners, and you can buy these in store, pick them up. They're shipping on September 22nd. So 15th for pre-orders and 22nd for actually getting your hands on the device. And iOS 11, once again, will be launching on September 19th for everybody interested in that. That is the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. So much information there. Now for what you guys may have been waiting for all along, the iPhone 10. It is gorgeous. It is the biggest upgrade for an iPhone that I have ever seen. It reminds me jumping from the iPhone 3GS to the iPhone 4 when we finally saw that Retina display. This is the new design. It is all screen with practically no bezels. Now they had to put the camera systems and the speaker grill somewhere, so they put a little notch at the top, which looks kind of crazy and kind of weird, but once you get used to using the device, it probably won't be that big of a deal. The big story here is, of course, the screen. It is a 5.8-inch display from edge to edge at a resolution of 2436 by 1125, 2.7 million pixels. I can't even count to like 3, so that's a lot of pixels right there, at 458 pixels per inch, making it the best screen on any iOS device to date. No screen that Apple's ever produced has had 458 pixels per inch, so this screen is going to blow your mind. It's already blowing my mind just looking at the specs, and I cannot wait to actually interact with it and look at pictures on it and watch videos on it with HDR and 458 pixels per inch and Retina in general. It is going to pop and probably burn your retinas out, but that's okay because it's a great screen. Now you might have noticed that there is no home button on this. That's because Apple has replaced the home button with the massive screen, and they've integrated a lot of gestures into the iPhone, like swiping up to unlock your device on the lock screen. When you're in an app, you can swipe up and stop to go into the app switcher, or continuing to swipe up will allow you to exit the app. And if you want to switch apps really quickly, you can just swipe along the little area with the line at the bottom of the screen. And if you want to access Control Center, you're going to have to reach all the way up to the top right hand corner. That is the only way that they've shown so far that you can access Control Center. So you swipe down from the top right hand corner with like the Wi-Fi and that stuff, and you'll be able to access Control Center from there. So some different gestures. With that being said comes a change that a lot of people will not be happy about. There is no fingerprint sensor. Touch ID has been completely nixed from the iPhone 10. It has been replaced with something that Apple is calling Face ID. You've probably heard about this in the news. You've heard the rumors. This has been very controversial. A lot of people wondered if actually taking a full scan of your face would be as safe as secure as Touch ID, or if it would be as fast, or if you could fake it. And Apple addressed all of these at their event. It works with or without glasses, or hats, or facial hair. It's going to change as your face changes. It works during the day or in the middle of the night, and it can't be spoofed by a photograph or a face mask. When Apple compared the security of Touch ID to the security of Face ID, they said that with Touch ID, you had a 1 in 50,000 chance of a random person coming up and being able to unlock your iPhone, and with Face ID, you have a 1 in 1 million chance of a random person on the street coming up to you and being able to unlock your phone with their face. So no system is perfect, and just like Touch ID had the ability to be faked and Samsung's iris scanner could be faked, Face ID can probably be faked as well, but based on these statistics alone, it is very secure in comparison to Touch ID, and I cannot wait to test this out and see how secure it is for myself, so stay tuned for that. The notch at the top of the screen is what houses all this new technology. Apple calls it the True Depth camera system. You've got an infrared camera, a flood illuminator, a front camera, and a dot projector as well. These are all constantly taking metrics from your face, and your phone only unlocks when you're making eye contact with the screen or actively engaging. If you're looking away or having a conversation, the phone will not just automatically unlock. A really fun feature that Apple added with the iPhone 10 was something called Animoji. You have 12 of these emojis to choose from, and you can animate them and record videos with you talking as an emoji. There's a poop emoji, and that's all that matters, and that's all I care about. So you can use that now, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to play with. So already you can see some stark differences between the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 10. In the department of cameras, the iPhone 10 features a dual 12 megapixel setup that's just slightly better than the iPhone 8 Plus's setup. It's got f1.8 and f2.4 on the iPhone 10. On the iPhone 8 Plus, you had f1.8 and f2.8. So the camera system is slightly better for the higher price tag that you'll be paying, which we'll get to in just a little bit. The iPhone 10 also features the larger, faster, and deeper pixel sensor, just like the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. But here on the iPhone 10, we have something that will be amazing for video: dual optical image stabilization. So whether you're using the regular 1x camera or the camera with zoom, to record video, 4K 60 frames per second and 1080p 240 frames per second have optical image stabilization on both cameras. I cannot highlight how great of a thing this is. It is not digital, so everything is going to record so smoothly, and I am so excited as a video person myself to use this and film dually stabilized video on both of the cameras. It's going to be ridiculous. Also, like the iPhone 8 Plus, the iPhone 10 has the new portrait lighting mode in addition to the standard and classic portrait mode, so you can adjust the lighting on people's faces and how they look, and portraits are gonna be incredible. I can't wait to shoot portraits on the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 10. Inside, you've got the same A11 Bionic Chip. That name just sounds really crazy. It is so fast and feels like it's way overkill on a mobile phone, but maybe it's not. It has a lot of good power on the inside that is gonna make everything so lightning quick on the iPhone 8 Plus, the iPhone 8, and even the iPhone 10. Now, because it also has the glass design, you've got the same wireless Qi charging, and Apple also previewed this thing, which is the air-powered charger. You'll be able to set your devices down on a mat, and it will charge all of them at the same time wirelessly. Only one cable involved is connected to the pad. So that is everything we know about the iPhone 10. It is a massive upgrade in comparison to the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, and an even bigger upgrade if you go back to the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. And there's a reason for that. This phone is the most expensive iPhone to date, retailing at $999 for the base 64GB model, and I assume the 256GB model will be $1,099 or possibly even more expensive. The worst part about all this, though, is that this phone is not shipping until November. Apple really messed up on the supply chain this year. This phone, you can pre-order it on October 27th, but you will not even be able to get your hands on one of these until November 3rd. I can't stress to you how late that is, and I don't think in the history of the iPhone, Apple has ever shipped an iPhone that late. Historically, they always ship in September. So that is everything that's new with the iPhone 10, the iPhone 8, and the iPhone 8 Plus. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button down below, and it would really help me out. And of course, hit subscribe for more videos on all three of these devices in the future. I've been Sam. I hope all of you are doing fantastic, and I will talk to you in my next video.